Karen snatched the check off the counter. Eyes cold. This is a lot of money. Where did you steal it from? Nia stiffened. We didn't steal anything. We won it. Karen scoffed. Right. 3 kids with matching stories and student IDs. I wasn't born yesterday. Noah stepped forward. You can call the number on the back. Don't tell me how to do my job, Karen snapped. People like you try this all the time. Nola's voice cracked with anger. People like us? Karen leaned in, lowering her voice just enough to cut deep. Fraudsters. I see it a mile away. She picked up the phone. I'm reporting possible check fraud. 3 subjects. Stay put. Sirens wailed faintly outside. The triplets froze. And just when they thought it couldn't get worse, their mom walks in and turns the entire bank upside down. Hit subscribe and keep watching to see Karen's face when she finds out who she just messed with. It was a bright Thursday afternoon in downtown Atlanta. The marble floors of Willow Creek Bank gleamed under the sunlight filtering through the glass walls. Customers stood in quiet lines, filling out deposit slips or scrolling their phones. Then the doors opened and 3 teenagers walked in. They were identical triplets, tall for their age, with matching braided hairstyles, crisp school uniforms, and the kind of presence that made heads turn. Nia, Nola, and Noah, 16 years old, confident but respectful. They had come straight from school to cash a scholarship check they jointly received for a STEM innovation competition. As they approached the teller, the bank manager, Karen Whitmore, spotted them from her glass-walled office. She was a woman in her early 50s, dressed sharply in a white blazer and pearl earrings, her posture always straight, as if carved from rules and suspicion. Karen's eyes narrowed. "Can I help you?" she said, stepping toward them, her heels clicking. "Yes, ma'am." Noah replied, holding out the check. "We'd like to cash this, please." The teller took the check and began processing it, but Karen snatched it midair. She scanned it with a look that wasn't just skeptical. It was accusatory. "This is quite a large amount," she said slowly. "Where did you get this check?" Nia blinked. "It's from the Georgia Youth Innovation Grant. We won the robotics competition." Karen's eyebrow arched. "All 3 of you?" "Yes," Nola said, her voice steady. "We built an eco-drone that detects water pollution. The check is in our names." The bank grew quieter. People in line began to glance over. Karen tapped the check with her manicured nails. "Do you have proof of identity?" They handed her their school IDs. She looked unimpressed. "These are student cards," she sniffed. "Not government IDs." Noah explained. "Our mom's on her way. She has our passports." But Karen was already shaking her head. "Until then, I'm going to hold this check. It's for your protection and ours." Something in her tone, that syrupy "for your protection," made Nia's stomach twist. "We didn't do anything wrong," Nia said quietly. "I didn't say you did," Karen replied, but her hand was already reaching for phone. "I just need to verify this. Protocol." As the triplets exchanged uneasy glances, Karen whispered into the receiver. Her words were muffled, but the phrase, "possible check fraud," was unmistakable. Outside, 2 police cars turned into the parking lot. Nola's heart pounded. She called the cops? Noah tried to stay calm. "Don't panic. Mom's coming." Inside the bank, Karen stood with arms folded, lips pursed, as 2 uniformed officers entered. "Those are the 3, she said under her breath, pointing. Customers stared openly now. A white couple with a toddler stepped back as if danger was in the air. A security guard hovered near the triplets. The officers approached. "We got a call about a fraudulent check." Noah took a step forward. "Sir, it's not fraudulent. We won a grant." "Step back," the officer said. "Hands where I can see them." Nia's hands shook as she lifted them. "This is crazy. We're just trying to cash a check." Karen stood tall, vindicated. "This is a bank, not a playground," she said icily. "We can't have—" Before she could finish, the glass doors opened again. A woman strode in, tall, elegant, radiating authority. Her navy blue suit was tailored to perfection. Her heels clicked with precision. Her hair was pulled back into a neat bun, and her presence was enough to make the room shift. "Mom." Nia gasped. Every head turned. This was Dr. Amara Johnson, one of Atlanta's most respected CEOs, known for turning small tech startups into national powerhouses. But Karen didn't recognize her, not yet. Amara took in the scene with one sharp glance. Her children surrounded by police, the bank manager standing smugly to the side, and the check in Karen's hand. "What?" she said, her voice cool and cutting. "Is going on here?" The room fell silent. Even the officers hesitated. Karen stepped forward, still oblivious. "Ma'am, these teenagers attempted to cash a suspicious check. I called authorities to ensure everything was handled correctly." Amara turned to her children. "Did you give them your IDs?" "Yes," Noah said. "She didn't believe us." Amara faced the officers. "And did anyone here bother to call the grant office to verify this before escalated police?" No answer. Her gaze shifted to Karen. "I assume," Amara said with chilling politeness, "you followed your verification protocol and spoke with the issuing institution?" Karen faltered. "Well, no, but in my experience—" "In your experience," Amara interrupted, "3 well-dressed black teenagers automatically equate to fraud?" A murmur rippled through the crowd. Karen's face reddened. "I don't appreciate that insinuation. And I don't appreciate my children being humiliated in public," Amara said firmly. She pulled out her wallet, flipped it open, and laid down 3 passports and a business card. "These are their IDs. And this," she said, handing the card to the officer, "is my direct line at Johnson Tech. Perhaps you've heard of it." The officer's eyes widened. "Yes, ma'am." Karen blinked, suddenly pale. "You're Dr. Johnson?" "Yes," Amara said. "And you've just detained the children of the woman who holds your bank's cybersecurity contract." Gasps echoed. Karen froze, visibly realizing she had made a catastrophic error. Amara turned to the officers. "We're done here. Please escort your embarrassment out quietly." The officers nodded sheepishly and stepped back. Amara faced Karen, voice soft but lethal. "I want that check processed. Now." Karen hurried to the teller window, fumbling. The once proud manager now looked small. As the check was finally cashed, Amara placed a hand on Nia's shoulder. "Are you 3 okay?" They nodded, though their eyes still shimmered with the sting of humiliation. Amara exhaled slowly, but her gaze stayed locked on Karen, who avoided eye contact. The atmosphere in the bank had flipped entirely. Where suspicion once hung, now there was awe and discomfort. The teller counted out the cash with trembling hands and slid an envelope under the glass. Nola took it, but nobody moved. The room felt held in place by a single fragile thread. What Amara would do next. Karen swallowed, tried to recover composure. "Dr. Johnson, if there was a misunderstanding, A misunderstanding," Amara repeated, measured. "You called the police on honor-roll kids with grant check." The security guard shifted his weight. A woman in line murmured, "They're just kids." And the quiet truth of it rose and settled over the lobby. Amara turned to the triplets. "Do you want to leave this behind, or do you want to file a formal complaint?" She kept her voice with them alone, but everyone could feel the answer forming. Noah looked at his sisters. "We shouldn't just walk away." Nia bit her lip. "Mom, if we do nothing, she'll do it to someone else." Nola squared her shoulders. "Make them fix it, not just for us." Amara nodded, as if she'd been waiting for that. She faced Karen. "I'm not interested in a scene. I'm interested in a solution. Publicly." She pulled out her phone and typed with calm certainty. "I'm emailing your regional director and copying your CEO. I'm also informing my legal team that our cybersecurity contract is suspended pending review of Willow Creek Bank's discrimination protocols." Karen's face drained. "Please, Dr. Johnson, this will ruin me. I have 20 years at this bank." "Then 20 years should have taught you verification before escalation," Amara said. "One phone call to the grant office, and none of this happens." The older officer, gray dusting his temples, cleared his throat. "Ma'am, for what it's worth, I'm sorry. We came in hot because of the call we got." He glanced at the triplets. I should have asked more questions. Noah's jaw loosened a fraction. Thank you, he said, surprised by the dignity in his own voice. A beat. Then Amara pivoted. There's another path, she said, eyes on Karen. It won't erase what happened, but it can change what happens next. Karen looked up, desperate. I'll do anything. 3 things, Amara said. 1, the bank issues a public apology, not a template, naming what went wrong and how you'll do better. 2, mandatory verification before escalation training for all branch staff, including you. I want the curriculum and completion records. 3, a $50,000 annual open doors fund for youth entrepreneurship, prioritized for students of color, administered by an independent community board. The first 3 scholarships will be named after my children. The room breathed. Even the lights hummed louder. Karen stared. 50,000 annually? You call the police? Amara said, you can call it tuition. The teller's eyes shone. The officer looked at his boots. The security guard nodded as if he'd just heard a verdict and agreed with it. I don't have authority to approve that, Karen whispered. Then call the person who does. Amara said, but we don't leave until we have a written commitment. Karen's hands shook as she dialed. She stepped into her glass office, voice small behind the pane. Through the glass, they saw her nodding, gesturing, pleading, listening. Minutes dragged. The triplets sat on a bench together, shoulders touching. Nia leaned her head on Nola's shoulder. Noah watched their mother, unmoving, unblinking, a pillar. Mom, he said softly, what if they say no? Then we move our money and our contract, Amara said without turning, and we take this to press. He followed her gaze to the bank's mission statement etched on the wall. Trust. Access. Community. For the first time since the officers arrived, Noah smiled. Small, real. Community, huh? Funny word until it's tested, Amara murmured. Karen reemerged, colorless but composed. Dr. Johnson, she said, voice steadying through sheer force of will. The regional director is on speaker. Amara walked into the office. The triplets followed. The officer stayed back, sheepish sentinels. Dr. Johnson, a woman's voice boomed to the phone, brittle and professional. We are deeply concerned. We will, of course, apologize publicly and review training procedures. Regarding the fund, 50,000 managed independently, earmarked annually, yes. We can commit to a 1-year pilot. A pilot? Amara said, deadpan. No, this is not a marketing campaign. 3 years minimum or we go public. Silence. Then 3 years. Put it in writing, Amara said. I want a signed memo by end of day and a draft of the apology within the hour. And the scholarships will be named the Nia, Nola, and Noah Fellowships. The director hesitated. Understood. Amara ended the call and met Karen's eyes. There's a second part. Karen blinked. There's more? You're going to look my children in the eye, Amara said, and tell them why what you did was wrong. Karen opened her mouth. Close it. Open it again. She turned to the triplets. I made an assumption when you walked in. I thought I was protecting the bank, but I was protecting my own bias. I didn't see you. I saw a stereotype, and I am sorry. I'm going to do the training. I'm going to do the work. You didn't deserve this. Nia's voice trembled. It scared me. I know, Karen said. I'm sorry it was me. Nola's jaw set then softened. Make sure it's not anyone else. I will, Karen said, and for once she sounded like a person rather than policy. They walked back into the lobby together. The customers watched them like witnesses at a baptism. The older officer removed his cap. For what it's worth, he said, I'll be speaking to my captain about our intake protocol. We shouldn't be a bank's first step. Thank you, Amara said. That matters. The younger officer cleared his throat. Could I apologize too? He looked at Noah. I was tense. I saw fraud on the call notes and forgot I was seeing people. That's on me. Noah nodded. We're good, he said, and meant it more than he expected. They stepped outside into late afternoon gold. The air felt lighter, as if the building had exhaled. Nia squeezed their mother's hand. You were incredible. I was your mother, Amara said simply. And today, being your mother required a microphone. They started toward the car, but Noah stopped, eyes bright with a thought. Mom, what if we held a community demo right here on Saturday? We could fly the eco drone in the park across the street, stream it live, talk about the scholarship, turn this into more than an apology. Amara looked at him, at the spark that had built a drone from spare parts and a stubborn belief that rivers should be clean. Send me a plan by dinner, she said, and the way she smiled told him the plan was already approved. Saturday came fast. The bank issued the apology that night, specific, unvarnished, with a fun commitment attached. The comment sections braced for cynicism and found something else: relief, gratitude, accountability. People showed up with lawn chairs and questions. A local news van parked discreetly by the curb. A child on a scooter asked Noah if the drone could sniff out yucky water, and Noah knelt to explain sensors like he was explaining a magic trick. He wanted everyone to learn.